I know you're not a huge fan of this set, not that you dislike it. Buy it on Bricklink probably, if it's still up and running.
Do you normally buy Lego with other people's money?
Yeah, and I picked up the best set I thought in the whole store for £15 or less.
If all the rumours are true that we've heard, we should be seeing...
Hi everyone, it's Graham from Brick Ranker here. I'm here with Chris, and as we're approaching the end of the year, that means it's time for only one thing, and that's our 2023 Lego Year in Review, where we go over the good and the bad, and we pick out our favourite sets and favourite minifigures released over the past 12 months. So Chris, just start with just your general thoughts on how the year's been as a Lego fan.
Yeah, I think it's been a really good year. I mean, Lego just seems to get bigger and better every year, really. We had some fantastic sets, some fantastic minifigures. Yeah, it just seems like every year more sort of adults get back into the hobby, really. So yeah, I think it just goes from strength to strength, really.
I think as adults we are treated to more and more as the years go by. I think increasingly there's bigger sets, more sets. So yeah, it's a great time to be in the hobby, as I say.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think a lot of people our age, of our age group, obviously had Lego through their childhood, and have maybe kind of obviously gotten out of it as they've gotten older. But now that they've got more sort of income, maybe, and a bit more sort of spare cash each month, they're getting back into it, and Lego's really trying to cash in on that.
Definitely. Okay, we'll get back on topic, and I think this, as I say, I think this year has been the most sets released, the most minifigures, so there's a lot to unpack in this video. So let's crack on. I'm going to go through our favourite sets of the year. We've gone through every set released, narrowed it down to our favourite 7. So we're going to just go through each in turn, and then we'll reveal our favourite. So we'll start way back at the beginning of the year. Feels like a long time ago now, but we had the much anticipated Rivendell set, and yeah, it was just a great set to get as a Lord of the Rings fan, to see the theme return in some format.
Yeah, it's I think every Lego fan has been asking Lego to bring the Lord of the Rings set back now for quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, for both of us, we weren't into Lego back then, so we really missed out on that theme. I know it was very short-lived, and now the price is so high, it's really painful trying to get those sets.
Yeah, I think it's been 10 years now since the last set, and I think Rivendell was just the perfect set to kind of introduce that theme, really. And if all the rumours are true that we've heard, we should be seeing a large scale set next year, hopefully.
Yeah, Baron Dur.
Fingers crossed for that. So yeah, I just think we've been waiting that long. Lego had to do something good, and that is like it, and that is what we got, basically. I can't really fault that set. It's just perfect.
Yeah, I'd agree. Definitely one of my favourites. And then only a month later, we got the Land Rover Defender. Obviously, we had a Technic version. I think maybe 2020 it was released. And personally, I've never built a Technic set. Just not something that really interests me. I just don't like the way it looks. Yeah, it's great to get a system version, and it's just a cracking looking set. Great thing to put on display. And the colour scheme, that kind of sand green, just looks really beautiful.
Yeah, I definitely think they chose the right colour for it. I think it's one of those sets that is great because it's something that looks really good, like on your shelf, but at the same time it's got tons of like play features as well.
Yeah, you can
so
play with
if you ever want to get it down, you can do that. And I think out of all of the Icons cars, the kind of bigger scale cars, it's kind of up there with the best one, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm struggling to think of a better one.
The only one could be better is the Back to the Future car.
Oh yeah,
I think.
Obviously, yeah, it's the favourite amongst our users.
Yeah, it's number 1 on the Hall of Fame, so highest rated set by you.
By you, the users.
Yes.
Okay, and then this was my nomination. I know you're not a huge fan of this set, not that you dislike it, but yeah, it's the Ninjago City Gardens. Markets,
Yes,
sorry.
the
markets.
city markets. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great set. I really love that theme. But I think out of the 4 that we've got from Lego, it's probably the worst one.
The 4 modular ones, you mean, yeah.
The 4 big modular buildings.
I'd agree with you there. Yeah, for sure.
It definitely has its flaws. It's still fantastic. I definitely want to buy it at some point.
Yeah, I think it's not as... just feels a bit more... I don't know, it kind of feels a bit more sparse than the other one.
Yeah, it feels a little bit sparse.
But to me, it's like... it's great to see a colourful set come out, you know? It's like... it's bold, it's just a fun thing to build. It's got a lot of interesting techniques in it.
Yeah, I mean, if that was the first one of those modular buildings, we'd be sat here saying, "Oh, it's absolutely fantastic,
true, yeah.
10 out of 10, perfect." But because of already had those other 3, which are better.
Yeah, they set the bar very high.
Yeah, that's the problem. They've set the bar too high.
Okay, and then back in September, we had 2 of our nominated sets come out. The first was Gringotts. Again, it was like a set that kind of fans have been wanting for a very long time. You know, I think there's only been, is it what, kind of 2 previous incarnations of Gringotts in Lego form. So obviously, yeah, the Diagon Alley set that came out was obviously missing Gringotts, so it was great to have a set that's compatible with that, with Diagon Alley. And yeah, for me, it's a bit of a weird set, to be honest, isn't it? It's an odd one to look at. It's from a technical perspective, obviously, it looks great. And I prefer it, to be honest, with separated out. So if you take off the bottom, just display the top of the building, it looks a lot better.
Yeah, I think even though as a whole, both parts of that set look really good, I would only ever really use the top half of it.
Yeah, I'd never display it as a whole.
Yeah,
although it's pretty cool. It just kind of just doesn't.
I kind of know that once I've built it, I would put both halves on I would put both halves like on the shelf for about half an hour, and then I'd just realise, okay, I want to just take the top half off almost. But still fantastic.
Yeah, it's a cool set to get.
And it's great just to see Lego doing something just a little bit innovative, isn't it?
Yeah, something a bit different, yeah. Okay, and then only a couple of days later, the Concorde set was released. Again, it kind of was a set that kind of filled a bit of a hole in Lego's catalogue. We haven't really had many like big scale planes. There's only I think the last decent ones were from Advanced Models theme, which was a precursor to Creator Expert. And yeah, we haven't really had any decent planes since then.
Yeah, Legos. Yeah, we've been crying out for more like Lego planes and also trains.
I mean, the problem is that most planes do have a military connection, and obviously Lego don't want to produce sets that kind of convey violence in any way.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, as I was saying, I mean, we've been asking. I think Lego planes and also Lego trains is something that I personally want to see from Lego for quite some time. I mean, there's loads of people like into trains and also like into planes. I don't understand why Lego doesn't try and tap into that
kind of a dedicated market. Theme, you mean?
Yeah, like a dedicated theme. Yeah. You can do other planes like an Airbus or 747. I think those sets will just sort of be big money makers for Lego.
Yeah, well, they make enough money as it is, but yeah, I see your point.
Yeah, great set. It was quite. I think it's actually fairly cheap. When I heard out how much that set costs, I was kind of sort of thinking it'd be a lot higher.
Yeah. So
I think what you get for that price is really good, and it's such an iconic aircraft, isn't it? It just looks great on your shelf.
Best thing about that set really for me is the display stand. It just kind of has they've got like a wooden style one in the plaque just looks really, really nice, and compared to the Star Wars ones, just looks classy, I'd say. Moving on to Star Wars, actually nice little segue there. We had the Venator released, which is a set that I know a lot of people went mad for. Like a lot of people bought it on day one. For me, it doesn't really appeal. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, and I think it's just another big grey model. Another big grey Star Wars set. Obviously, it's incredibly detailed, very impressive, and the size of it is really cool. But for me, yeah, it's not something I'd rush out and buy, if at all.
Yeah, I do think it's a good set. I kind of echo what you said. I'm not a big sort of Star Wars fan. I mean, I'm a big fan, but I don't, I'm not one of these people who just sort of loves Lego Star Wars. Yeah, I kind of understand what you're saying. I think it's still fantastic. It's very detailed.
It's not something you can really play with, like...
It's not, but it's not meant to be, though, is it, really?
Yeah.
You're not going to pick up a massive... I don't know how much that thing weighs.
But to me, Lego should be playable, it is a toy at the end of the day. I know we're
okay, so I guess you prefer sets that can be big, but also have some play features.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah,
we'll have the potential to play with. You might never play it. But.
Yeah, I know that the I would have liked to seen that set include more minifigures, perhaps. We only got 2, and I feel as though...
But that's something that UCS sets have done for a while now, and they've been very stingy on minifigure count.
I know, but I've always thought if you're paying, what's it, £450...
I'm not disagreeing with you, yeah. I'm just saying, we didn't
more.
Expect much in terms of minifigures from that set.
Yeah.
I'd rather they would have just done another kind of ultimate builder collection, is it? We had the range where we had the Cantina, the Death Star, and the Ewok Village. Something like that would have been a lot cooler for me personally, but anyway, I think we've dissected that enough now.
Yep.
And we'll move on to the Avengers Tower. That was just only come out. If you're watching this video at the start of December, only been out a few days or a week. And again, it's a set that has been hyped up a lot. There's a lot of Avengers fans out there and Marvel fans in general, and I think a lot of people kind of were looking forward to this set. It's hard to tell because I actually haven't built it yet, and I don't think you have either, have you?
No, we haven't got our hands on it yet, so it's kind of hard to fully rate it.
Yeah.
Until we've done that. But
looks like a very repetitive build.
It does a bit. It has comes with lots of minifigures. I think it's
31.
31 minifigures, but none of them are actually that
good.
That good, really.
Yeah.
There's only one standout minifigure.
Yeah, which we'll probably come on to in a little bit.
Yeah, which we'll come on to in a little bit. But like all of the others, they just don't. I don't know. I think they fall a little bit flat.
Yeah, I mean we're kind of Spider-Man fans, the both of us, so the villains in there are kind of a lot cooler, I'd say, and it's given us a lot better minifigures. Okay, so they're the 7 nominees. I think we're probably in agreement as to which one we should take the title of best set.
Yep, I think.
I'd be surprised if you say something different.
Yeah. I think the fact we've waited 10 years for a Lord of the Rings set. And Lego really
felt like Lego really treated us.
Really treated us with that set. I think for me personally, I think Rivendell has to take it.
I'm not going to disagree with you there. It's a great set, and everyone should go out and buy it.
Definitely. Hi everyone, Chris from Brick Ranker here. Before we move on to the next section of the podcast, I just wanted to remind you all about our website, brickranker.com. We've got a vast database with tons of information about Lego sets, minifigures and pieces. You can also catalogue your own collection and track its value over time. Plus we've got news, reviews, investment articles and much more. Check it out at brickranker.com.
Okay, so with sets wrapped up, we're now going to move on to minifigures, logically. And again, I think for me, it's a pretty good year for minifigures, I think. There were some really good ones from the collectible range. That kind of was the highlight for me.
Yeah, we had three good CMF series this year. We had obviously I think the actual licensed ones are always my personal favourite. But back at the start of the year, Lego, I think we had Series 24 from
Yeah.
Lego, and it was definitely better than what we've had in previous years.
Yeah, I think we'd had like there's basically just way too many costume minifigures in the years kind of leading up to this one. Kind of like almost half of them were like just weird costume minifigures like the boatman or the aeroplane girl. But Lego
Yeah.
dialed that down, which is really good to see, and just brought us some cool characters.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's good to see, a kind of Lego getting back on form with the CMFs.
Yeah.
And we've already had a glimpse of Series 25, which also looks good. So
Yeah, so
looking forward to getting our hands on that.
it's looking good in that regard. So the Disney 100, our two favourites from that series that make our top 6 are firstly Ernesto de la Cruz. I know this is one you really liked.
This was my favourite out of that series. Yeah, just it's got great. It's kind of like in a way it's a simple minifigure. It's just black printing on white pieces, but it just looks really
Yeah.
good, very detailed.
I think the white kind of and black minifigures in general just look really clean and sharp and just a bit different because you don't often get a fully white minifigure. So kind of unusual colours or uncommon colours are really good to see in minifigures. And the accessories are really good. I loved his guitar. Just looked on point really. Then we also had King John from that series. Again, this was another one that had a great likeness to the actual on-screen character, which I guess is kind of the minimum you need for a good minifigure. Like, it actually does need to look like what it's portraying, and this definitely did that.
Yeah, it's such an iconic character, isn't it? And
Yeah.
Lego did a fantastic job on this
Yeah.
minifigure.
They did a great job with the Robin Hood one as well, and those two were really, really good.
Yeah, whenever you open any of the CMF blind bags, there's always kind of certain minifigures that you want more than others, isn't there? And well, those two we've mentioned and Robin Hood, for me personally, were kind of up there with the ones which I really wanted.
But I think for the Disney 100 series, there weren't any stinkers. I'd say like they were all kind of pretty good. Obviously, there's some that like are not as exciting as others, but they were in general. You were kind of happy to get any of them really.
Yeah, true, definitely.
And then our third nominee, we move on to the Marvel CMF series, and this was the Moon Knight, which was probably was my favourite from the series. Again, another white minifigure, white and black, which I think just looked really good and worked really well. I think his hood mould was spot on. And it's a character that we're kind of really unlikely to ever get again in minifigure form. So for that reason is why I kind of want to, why I pushed him to make our top 6.
Yeah, that's a good point that we're probably not going to see Moon Knight in a Lego set anytime
he's
soon.
Such a niche
So it's kind
character.
of for people, it's a very niche character. So for people who have wanted a Moon Knight minifigure, hopefully Lego's kind of filled that kind of hole really for those people.
Well, probably not many people knew who he was until the TV series that came out. But yeah, I certainly didn't know he existed. Anyway, now moving on to something a bit of a wild card. I think
a bit of a curveball, you could say.
This nomination.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think not many people would have actually maybe even seen this minifigure or given it a second glance. And this is the Nightmare King from the Dreams theme. First of all, it was great to get kind of a new non-licensed theme, it was a bit over the top. Yeah, maybe a bit too over the top, but it gave us some quite extravagant minifigures. I think this one is definitely out there, but I think just the detail, the cape piece is something like that is just really, really cool. It's made from that rubbery material we got in the Batman minifigures and Doctor Strange. And there's even like, if you look close, there's a silhouette of a wolf's head, which I just think is kind of really, really kind of cool touch, really nice touch.
Yeah, I think with this Dreams theme, and also we saw in the Hidden Side theme, is these non-licensed themes really give Lego kind of that sort of license to do what they want, really, to come out with some sort of crazy, wacky things. We get some interesting minifigure parts and pieces that you don't see with the licensed themes because Lego has to work to a certain sort of blueprint, don't they? Really, with those themes.
Yeah, I think the set creators often they probably feel a bit stifled with like the Star Wars theme, Harry Potter. You can't really push the boundaries that much with those, but here it kind of feels like they just went a bit crazy and just kind of do what they wanted.
Yeah, because that's what, and it's a great sort of theme to get young kids into Lego. I think this new Dreams theme.
Yeah, I think kids are already pretty into Lego, but I know what you're saying. Yeah. Okay, and then now moving on to Star Wars. I think the Star Wars theme didn't really deliver that well in terms of minifigures. I think especially for a non-Star Wars fan, I know we kind of got some cool versions of characters we've had previously, but they weren't kind of that unusual, and I guess that's what I like to see from Star Wars, a minifigure that does stand out, maybe uses like a new head mould or something. But there was one minifigure that did give us that, and that was Professor Huyang. Is that how you say it?
I'm not entirely sure how you say it, but yeah, it's I just love his headpiece.
Yeah, and the colour
it
just looks just really, really nice, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to buy that set, but I'm definitely going to buy the minifigure in separately. Buy it on sort of Bricklink probably.
Yeah, if it's still up and running.
Yeah, if it's still up and running, yeah.
And then our final nominee is, as we kind of teased a bit earlier, it does come from the Avengers Tower set, and that is, we've got a new version of Vision, which I think just looks exceptional. I don't really know what else to say. It's just an incredible looking minifigure. The cape is probably the best Lego cape that's ever been produced.
There's a big claim that.
Yeah, just the patterns, just how it looks, the colours, the gradients, just all works really well.
It is great. As I said earlier, the set had 31 minifigures in, and I felt a lot of them fell flat, but this was 100% the standout minifigure in that set. I think it kind of makes up in a way for the others not being quite as good, because it is that good.
I love the translucent legs as well.
Yeah, I love seeing sort of translucent pieces used on minifigures. I think the mixture of translucent and solid pieces.
Yeah, opaque.
I love opaque pieces. I love seeing that.
Okay, so we've now got to pick a winner.
Yep.
From this 6. For me, Vision is like kind of head and shoulders above the rest.
Yeah, I think we can't really see past Vision, can we? So yeah.
So that takes the title.
Vision takes the title.
Worthy winner.
Definitely.
We had to wait a long time for it, but yeah, we got it right at the end of the year. Okay, so now we come on to a new category, which is something we didn't do last year when we gave out our awards. And that is the best small or affordable set, which we have classed as any set of 500 pieces or below.
Yep, I am a big lover of, these small scale play sets. It's what we had when we were children. It's what many children will be getting now as Christmas presents, so we should definitely recognise them.
Yeah, we got a lot of love for these kind of small little sets, and yeah, they don't break the bank, and you can have a lot of fun with them. Yeah,
hopefully this list will show you that you don't have to spend a lot of money to get a lot of fun and joy out of a Lego set.
Bigger is not always better.
Exactly.
So our first nominee comes from the Speed Champions lineup. We had a few at the start of the year, and one of them was the Too Fast, Too Furious Nissan Skyline. I mean, it's a cool franchise. I think everyone kind of has like a little bit of love for that franchise.
It's a bit of a guilty pleasure, isn't it?
I think. Yeah. I can't claim to have watched them all, but the ones I have seen, I've definitely enjoyed. And yeah, it was a cool car to have. I think the only criticism for me is the colour matching with the stickers wasn't quite right. So the stickers were a lighter shade of grey than the bricks they used, which is a problem they had for the GB5 as well. I don't know why Lego can't just get that right, but they didn't, which does detract from the set a bit, but I still think, a really nice addition to the Speed Champions lineup.
Yeah, good good set, definitely. It's the second time we've got a car from that franchise, and I think it's a good set.
Now moving on to Jurassic World from the summer sets we had from that theme. There were some really good ones, I think, that kind of gave us some cool dinosaurs. One of the best was the Triceratops research. That captures like an iconic scene from the movie where we see the sick Triceratops. Also that set also gave us a build of the Jeep, the classic red Jeep, the classic green Jeep. We had that in the T-Rex breakout set.
Yep, we had two of them in that set.
A smaller, cheaper set.
Yeah, I think it's great to be able to get that vehicle with, it kind of gives you a cheaper price point that you can get that vehicle for. Yeah, and again, good set. It's got everything you need. It's got a great vehicle. It's got two good figures in it. It's got a good sort of big sort of dinosaur mold. But I just can't see past that high price really. It's £47 here in the UK, and I think for 376 pieces, that's just way too high really. It's a set which would be.
Well, a lot of the money goes into making the dinosaurs, doesn't it?
I get that you get a big dinosaur and it's a licensed set, but I still think it's way too high, really.
Yeah.
I mean, what we're currently in a cost of living crisis. What parent is gonna have nearly 50 quid to kind of spend?
I'm sure there are many parents that would, but yeah.
I know, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, Lego's always been expensive, but yeah, that Jurassic Park sets are not cheap, let's just say. And now we move on to definitely one of my favourite sets actually from the whole year. A set I actually went out and bought myself with my own money.
Do you normally buy Lego with other people's money?
Well, sometimes I get gifted sets, which is nice, but this occasionally go out and buy it myself.
Yeah, you picked up in the Leicester Square store recently.
I did. I was on my way home from work. I thought, I'm going to treat myself. It was a long day. I walked in, not wanting to spend a lot, because I know I probably shouldn't have been spending money at that time. And I picked up the best set I thought in the whole store for £15 or less, and that was the classic Land Rover Defender set.
It's really good. It's obviously when you spend less money, you're not going to get a sort of very detailed set. You're always going to have to compromise on that, but it's got everything which you need, really, isn't it? It doesn't really fall short in sort of any way.
You don't feel shortchanged.
Exactly, yeah.
And the best thing is it fits in a Lego City really nicely. It's the right size.
Yeah, the reason I don't like the Speed Champions sets, why I don't really buy Speed Champions, is since they moved from 6 studs wide to 8 studs wide, they're just too big to be able to fit on a sort of in any city. And for me, they're kind of
almost like too small to display.
Yeah, they're kind of too big to fit in a city, they don't have like enough detail to be able to sort of proudly put it like on your shelf, like as a model. So it kind of falls like in that weird sort of middle ground, really.
Yeah.
So I'd much rather than spend, buy 3 Speed Champions sets, I'd rather save that money and buy it on one of the larger scale Icons cars, or just buy something else,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then our last nomination is the Batmobile. This has come. It's the Batman vs Joker chase set. And it's really nice because it includes a smaller scale version of the 1989 Batmobile. We had that huge set a few years ago, which a lot of people loved. It's one of our highest rated sets among our users. I really like it. But yeah, it's good to get a smaller scale version. And they've kind of captured the shape really nicely, I think, despite having obviously a lot fewer pieces. So again, just a really kind of decent play set as well.
Yeah, once again, it just highlights the fact that you don't always have to spend money to get a lot of, a lot of fun out of a Lego set.
True. So I think now we should pick our winner.
Yep. Well, I think we both know what it's going to be.
Well,
You bought it, Graham. You can introduce it.
Okay, our winner is the Land Rover Classic Defender set. It's just great. I love the colour. I like that they went for yellow rather than replicated the colour from the bigger one.
Yeah, and actually, just one final point on this set. We were talking about how much this set costs. £15.
It's cheaper than £15. It's $12.99.
$12.99. Sorry. You know, we haven't mentioned that it is an actual proper licensed set.
Yeah.
So
how did they do that for that cheap? You
Exactly.
say to yourself. Yeah.
go out and buy it, like we said. With just go out and buy it. It's a great set.
Yeah. Doesn't break the bank. You won't regret it.
It's a good stocking filler, you could say.
Just in time for Crimbo. Okay, so there you go. That's 2023 all wrapped up. We hope you liked this video. Obviously, this is quite a subjective list, so we'd love to know your comments down below if you agree or disagree with our selection and our winners. So drop a comment down below. While you're there, give us a like. That would be nice. With 2024 just on the horizon, obviously we've got a lot more to look forward to. And we're going to be doing a video soon where we go over our hopes and dreams for next year and go over some of the sets that we kind of already know are going to be coming out and what we hope that they'll be like. Any final thoughts, Chris?
Yeah, just finally, I thought it was worth mentioning that you can check out our picks for best set and best minifigure from previous years on the Brick Ranker website. Once again, we will pop a link in. We'll pop a link to those articles. Yeah, that's it from me.
Thank you, and see you again soon.